Welcome to Vintage Car Chronicles. We have a real treat today. It's a deep dive. We curated it just for you guys. It's all about the Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.516 Evolution 2.
You mean the Evo 2?
Exactly, the Evo 2.
It's a car that truly embodies the spirit of the late 80s and early 90s, a time when manufacturers were pushing the limits.
Pushing the boundaries of performance for
Well,
sure.
the track, yeah, and then taking it to the streets.
It's that connection to the track that really gets me going, you know? The whole homologation special thing.
Yeah, homologation special.
Always gets my pulse racing.
It's a term you hear a lot in motorsports.
It is.
But, you know, it's worth explaining. So to compete in racing series like the DTM,
The German Touring Car Championship.
yeah, manufacturers had to build a certain number of road-going versions.
That's their race cars.
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, hey, if we're going to unleash this beast on the track,
Right.
we got to prove it can handle the real world, too.
Yeah, exactly. And for the Evo 10, Mercedes had to build 502
502.
for the public
It's tiny number.
before they could race it in the DTM.
No wonder these cars are like automotive royalty.
Yeah, that and the Evo 7's racing pedigree, you know. That's what makes it so sought after.
But it's more than just a pretty face.
Oh, yeah, way more.
So let's dig deeper. I want the nitty gritty.
All right, the 190e platform is the best place to start. You might be surprised to learn that when it debuted, 1982,
Okay.
it wasn't meant to be a sports car.
Really? I can't imagine the Evo Tessic coming from humble beginnings.
Well, the 190e was Mercedes' answer to the new fuel economy standards.
It was.
It was a smaller model, more efficient, you know, not what they were known for at the time.
Right.
But you know what they say? Necessity is the mother of invention.
That's true.
This fuel sipper, well,
Yeah.
it had some potential under the hood.
I'm starting to see a glimmer of the Evo Tessic here.
Yeah.
But I did read that Mercedes initially pictured it, the 190e that is, as a rally car.
That's right. The World Rally Championship, they had their eyes on the prize.
Wow.
But Audi came in with the Quattro, you know?
The Quattro. Game changer.
Yeah, all-wheel drive dominance. Mercedes realized they couldn't compete.
So what did they do?
Shifted their focus
Okay.
to DTM.
A series that played to the 190e's strengths.
Rear-wheel drive, corner carving.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So DTM becomes the stage.
Right.
Enter the first Evolution model in 1989.
1989, yep.
The 190e 2.516 Evolution.
Think of it as the first step
Yeah.
in the transformation.
Yeah.
The Evo, I had a larger engine.
2.5 liter.
Yeah, 2.5 liter, tuned by Cosworth, and some subtle aerodynamic improvements.
Subtle, but I bet they were important.
Oh, yeah, they were.
But it's the Evo 2 a year later that really
Yeah.
kicks it up a notch.
Yeah, the Evo 2.
I mean, the body kit. It's like something out of a video game.
Fender flares, huge rear wing. It was a statement, you know. They were serious about the DTM.
They weren't messing around.
And get this, the design. Professor Richard Epler, an aerodynamicist from the University of Stuttgart.
A university professor. No way.
Oh, yeah. Professor Epler, genius when it came to aerodynamics. He brought science to the design, you know? And that rear wing,
What about it?
BMW joked they'd have to redesign their wind tunnel if it worked.
Spoiler alert.
It worked.
They must have been eating their words when the Evo II started passing them on the track.
I bet they were.
But before we get to that,
Yeah.
what about the inside? With all that wildness on the outside, I imagine it's stripped down, all business.
You'd be surprised. Mercedes didn't abandon their love for luxury, even with the competition. It's a mix of classic refinement.
So it's not bare bones.
Not at all. You've got these Recaro seats, a special steering wheel, extra gauges.
And I bet it's all put together with that Mercedes quality.
Of course. Rock solid, even with its racing background. They kept that usability Mercedes is known for.
A comfortable race car, that's something else.
That's the magic of the Evo 2. Not just speed, but a car that could dominate and still be a joy to drive on the road. Back again with Vintage Car Chronicles. We're talking Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.516 Evolution 2. Seeing how a fuel-efficient car turned into a legend, it's amazing.
He really is. It's crazy how they made it race-ready and still comfy enough for a daily drive.
Right. They blended those two worlds so well.
Yeah.
They could have just stripped it down, focused on speed only, but they knew the Evo 2 had to be more.
More than just a track beast.
Exactly. And to do that, they focused on the details. Those things that make a Mercedes special.
Even in a car as extreme as the Evo II.
Yeah, even the Evo 2.
Speaking of details,
Mhm.
the color. Almost all Evo 2s were that blue-black metallic, weren't they?
You're right. 500 out of 502 had that color.
Yeah.
Bold choice, especially for Mercedes back then.
Bold, but it works.
Yeah.
Gives it a real presence, like a stealth fighter jet.
Yeah. Though there were two exceptions, right?
Wait, are you saying there are Evo 6 that aren't blue-black metallic?
Two special ones, numbers 501 and 502, they were astral silver.
Wow, custom orders.
Seems like it, for some important clients.
So it was luxurious, A&D, customizable, wow.
Wow.
But let's get back to that engine. The 2.5-liter Cosworth-tuned with a bit of AMG magic.
A real gem for 1990.
It is.
Getting that power from a four-cylinder was impressive.
Yeah. We talked about the AMG Power Pack, but what's so special about it? It wasn't just bolting on bigger parts, right?
AMG, even back then, they were meticulous. They understood optimization. The Power Pack wasn't just upgrades, it was a whole performance symphony. Yeah, crafted to work with the Cosworth engine.
So it was more than just horsepower numbers, it was the whole package.
Exactly. Improved airflow, hotter camshafts, a bigger throttle body, and the intake and exhaust.
All redesigned.
Beautifully redesigned.
And the result? 7,700 RPM.
For a four-cylinder then, almost unheard of.
Amazing.
And they didn't stop there. The torque curve, they made sure it had punch throughout.
So not just a race engine, but drivable every day.
That's it. The Evo II's engine was power, responsiveness, and refinement all in one. And to think, it started with their rally ambitions.
It's funny how things turn out. The Quattro stopped their rally dreams.
It did.
But that Cosworth engine found a new home in the DTM.
It's true. Sometimes setbacks lead to bigger wins.
And in this case, a car that ruled the track A&D captured hearts.
Exactly. But it's not just the engine that makes the Evo II special. We got to talk about the handles.
The handling.
Oh, yeah. Every detail, the chassis, suspension, they obsessed over it.
I've heard about the adjustable ride height, the fast steering.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it really like to drive?
Imagine this. You're gripping the wheel, feeling the road through your fingertips as you take on corners. This handling comes straight from the DTM.
It does.
Remember, this car was born in a racing series, known for tough circuits.
Right, so it wasn't about comfort, but about precision and grace in the corners.
You got it. They spent hours refining the suspension geometry, trying different setups to get that balance, agility, and stability.
I read the steering was incredibly responsive.
It was. You could practically feel the road surface.
That's amazing.
One of the things that sets it apart, it wasn't just turning, it was a connection between the driver and the road.
And with that adjustable ride height, you could really fine-tune it.
Exactly. Different track conditions, driving style, even your mood, you could adapt to it all.
So much control.
It wasn't just fast, it rewarded skill. It let drivers push their limits, get the most out of it.
It's amazing that all this engineering was for a homologation special.
A car built for racing rules.
Almost poetic.
It is.
It shows how dedicated Mercedes was to motorsport, going above and beyond to win. And they did win.
1992, Klaus Ludwig, DTM champion.
David beats Goliath. Mercedes taking down BMW, the reigning champ.
Years of work, dedication, passion, all leading to that moment. The engineers, designers, drivers, they all played a part.
And that win cemented the Evo II's place in history. It's a legend, still inspiring today.
But it's more than just the track. It changed the automotive world, influenced design and engineering for so many cars that came after.
Changed the landscape. How?
It proved that a four-door sedan could be as good as a sports car.
Maybe even better?
Yeah, maybe even better. It showed that performance and practicality didn't have to be separate.
It's like they rewrote the rules.
Before the Evo II, you had sports cars for thrills and sedans for being sensible.
Right, sensing.
Mercedes showed you could have both, blistering lap times, 80 family road trips, all in one car. And that mix, it's so popular now.
Look at all the performance sedans today.
Exactly. The Evo II was a pioneer.
A real trailblazer.
Not just on the track, but in style, too. That aggressive design, the flares, the wing, it was a huge influence.
It was polarizing back then.
It was, but groundbreaking, too. It showed a sedan could be elegant and fierce all at once.
A car that demanded attention.
That design language, that mix of muscle and refinement, you see it everywhere now.
From sedans to SUVs.
It's true. The Evo II's impact is undeniable. It wasn't just a good car, it changed how we see performance cars, even today.
Not a flash in the pan, but a lasting legacy.
Exactly. That's why it still fascinates us, inspires collectors, and sets the bar for automotive excellence.
After this deep dive, I get why it's so valuable to collectors. It's a piece of history, a symbol of pushing boundaries.
Shows what happens when manufacturers really dare to go all out.
It's all about innovation, passion, and the pursuit of performance, isn't it?
It is. And it's a story that's still relevant. It reminds us that even when things are tough, when the odds are against us, greatness is possible.
Welcome back to Vintage Car Chronicles. We're wrapping up our deep dive into the Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.5 Ventene Evolution 2.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Uncovering the Evo 2's history, the engineering, the impact.
From fuel sipper to DTM champion, what a story.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But you know what we haven't talked about much?
What's that?
The people behind it all,
You're right. We've focused on the car itself,
but not the human element.
the people who made it happen.
Exactly. Every great car has a team of passionate people behind it, the unsung heroes. So for this last part, let's meet the people who made the Evo 2 Second a reality.
I like it. Where do we start?
Well, we talked about the styling, those flares, that wing.
Hard to forget that look.
Yes, so bold.
It is.
And the mastermind behind it, Professor Richard Epler from the University of Stuttgart,
Right, Professor Epler.
a university professor designing one of the most radical Mercedes ever.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It really is.
He was a visionary when it came to aerodynamics. He brought a real scientific approach to the design.
A scientific approach.
Yeah. Not that common in the car world back then.
I can picture him in the wind tunnel, testing every detail.
Trying to cheat the wind.
Exactly.
He wanted more than just looks. It had to be efficient. Cut through the air.
And the results are there.
Uh,
A 0.29 drag coefficient. That's incredible.
For its time, yeah. Think of a bullet train designed to slice through the air.
That's what he achieved.
Amazing.
Art and engineering, passion and precision, all in one.
It was a team effort, for sure. Talented people, different skills coming together.
Speaking of talent,
Yeah.
that 2.5-liter engine, the engineers who built that,
The Cosworth-tuned, AMG-enhanced beast.
what a story behind it. Innovation, collaboration, the pursuit of performance.
It all started with that World Rally Championship dream.
Right. They wanted to compete
They asked Cosworth to build a powerful four-cylinder.
for a Rally 190e.
Yeah. But then the Quattro came along.
Changed everything.
Mercedes had to scrap their plans.
But that engine, too good to waste.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
I love that. So they repurposed it for DTM, and that's where AMG comes in.
Right, AMG.
Even then, they were known for squeezing every bit of power out of a Mercedes engine.
They took that Cosworth engine and made it even better. Camshafts, throttle body, intake, exhaust, all tuned to perfection.
And it could rev all the way to 7,700 RPM.
Amazing sound, too.
It's amazing what they achieved. A real collaboration, Cosworth's engineering and AMG's tuning magic.
Makes you wonder what their meetings were like.
I bet they were intense.
Passionate debates, late nights, all to get the most out of that engine.
It's funny, if they hadn't given up on the rally, we might not have the Evo Second.
That's how innovation works sometimes. Challenges lead to amazing things.
True.
But we can't forget the drivers. The ones who raced the Evo Second pushed it to its limits.
More than drivers, they were artists.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Klaus Ludwig, for
The
example.
1992 DTM champion, a legend,
Got a driver.
known for his aggressive style, his determination. He could really get the most out of the car. Imagine the focus, the adrenaline.
Must have been incredible to watch.
It was. But behind every driver, there's a team.
The mechanics, engineers, everyone.
The unsung heroes working tirelessly to prepare the cars, analyze data, make sure everything's perfect.
The Evo Second's success, it was a team effort.
It was a shared passion for motorsport, and it paid off.
It shows what you can achieve when you work together.
It's a legacy that goes beyond the track.
It does.
Teamwork, dedication, innovation.
Inspiring stuff.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
The Evo Second, what a car.
A symbol of passion and innovation.
It captured the imagination of enthusiasts everywhere, and its legacy will live on.
It will. And to those lucky enough to drive an Evo the Second,
Yeah.
it's a reminder that the best machines are more than just parts.
They're a reflection of the human spirit, our drive to push further to create something amazing.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of the Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.5 16 Evolution 2.
And remember to tune in to Vintage Car Chronicles every day for more deep dives into automotive history. Until next time, happy motoring.